I remember the day I got the email, and it was surreal and exciting because I had gotten invited to my first bachelorette party. Now, I know that, every woman defines womanhood for herself, and some women hate bachelorette parties. For me, it was just amazing. Because growing up, the idea of going out with a bunch of girlfriends and getting trashed and throwing up in a bathroom while a girlfriend holds my hair back was weirdly affirming to me. And here we are, and I had the bucket list. So it was about 12 of us from my friend Emily. It was 10 cis women, me, and a non-binary friend of ours. All good friends, we hung out all the time, we're really excited for this. And I had to constantly remind myself, this is not about you, this is about Emily, so make sure. So we met at a downtown hotel where we rented a couple of hotel rooms. And we did shots, we did wine, we talked about our fucking bosses, it was great. And then we went to a club downtown, club/restaurant. We got there, everything goes well. We're having a great time. We're dancing, we're drinking. I may have made out with 1 or 5 people. It was wonderful. And near the end of the evening, I go to use the restroom. My friend, Brittany, she's like, hey, do you want someone to come with you? And it was her very sweet way of saying, I can run interference in case there's an issue. Now, look, DC is the trans capital of the US. I don't know if y'all knew that. But it really is. 5 times the rate of trans people per capita than anywhere else in the country. We run this shit. We really do. Because of Ruby Corrado and all these amazing trans women of color who, fought back and said, fuck you, we exist, we deserve to be here. So when my friend asks me if I need someone to come with her, or if I need someone to come with me to the restroom, I thought, no, I'll be fine, it's DC, I'll be okay. Completely naive. We go to the restroom, and there's this long hallway. Tons of women are trying to get in. They're going in and out. And there is a gentleman standing to the side of the door. And I didn't, I noticed him. I didn't think much about it, though. It just went, I didn't worry about it. Go up to go in the restroom, and he sticks his hand out, and he says, I need to see some ID. And I'm like, excuse me? He's like, I need to see some ID to use the restroom, which is totally illegal, by the way, in DC. And I said, no. And I turned on my heel and went to the restroom and, went to do my business. Now, when I go into the restroom to do my business, I can't speak for all trans people. For me, I don't dilly-dally. I don't make it a social experience. I get in, I do my business, wash my hands, and get out, right? Because even in a women's restroom, it can be dangerous. A men's restroom, very, very, very dangerous. Women's restroom could be dangerous. Trans women have been attacked in restrooms, by the way. So, I got in, went to my stall, doing my thing, and I see this man open the door, walk in, and start checking all the stalls for me. I'm not even kidding. One of the other employees had a moment of reason, rushes in after him, says, get the hell out of the restroom, what are you doing right now? And he pulls him out. So I walk out, I wash my hands, open the door, and standing there are the manager and the employee who had asked me for the ID. Behind them are 24 women trying to get in. And they're looking on incredulously as this manager asked to see my ID. And I said, I don't know if you understand what's going on here, but I'm allowed to use this restroom. I'm doing okay. It's fine. And he's like, no, I need to see some ID. Now, look, I didn't want to make a scene. I didn't want to ruin my friend's bachelorette weekend, so I said, all right, that's fine. Walk outside, bring up the law on my cell phone, come back inside to show him respectfully engage in a nice dialogue. He reads it, he says, this doesn't count. I'm sorry. Okay, you need to make a course correction in this moment because I don't want to escalate this, but things are about to get really bad. We're allowed to use the restroom that aligns with who we are. And he says, okay, maybe I should call the police. I'm like, well, maybe you should. Maybe they could settle this. And he says, that's it. And he calls over the bouncer, who comes over, grabs me, and while my friends are tugging on me, pushes me out of the front of the restaurant. There's about 100 people watching this. People are starting to leave because they're like, fuck this, we're not gonna be here for this. And they start to leave. There are several women I don't even know talking to the manager, telling him, what is your problem? Why are you making such a big deal out of this? So I'm out there on the curb, for 10 minutes trying to figure out what to do. And y'all, never call the cops if you don't have to. Don't do it. It always escalates the situation. It's a bad idea. But I'm standing there waiting for 10 minutes, trying to figure out what to do with my friends, and our non-binary friend comes out, and they walk up to us, and they tell us that they had been carded. I think there's a moment for most people, but particularly all women, where we reach a point where we just have 0 fucks left to give. That was my moment. Because you can fuck with me to some extent, don't fuck with my friends. That's not okay. So I called the cops, they came, they were weirdly professional. I've heard some horror stories, let me tell you, they were great. They radioed for the LGBTQ liaison, they wrote a police report, they told the manager, no, you're in the wrong, dude, you can't do this isn't good. The mayor of DC, Mario Bowser, got involved, the attorney general got involved, the restaurant was held accountable, they had to pay a fine. Everything happened the way it should have. But the hero of the story are not the police, the mayor, the attorney general, it's not my friends, it's not the people who protested in the restaurant as they saw this happening, it's not me. The hero are the trans women of color who have spent the past several decades in this city fighting for these rights. Because in 1995, a black trans woman named Tyra Hunter was on her way to work. She got in a car wreck. The EMTs got there, and they refused to treat her because she's trans. She was taken to the local hospital, one of the local hospitals here in DC, and she died because of neglect. And this led to a massive resurgence in trans rights for this area. It's what made DC, I honestly would argue, the queer capital of the country, hands down. So those are the heroes, the trans women of color who have fought for all of us, not just trans folks, but everyone, to be who we are, to be safe and dignified and respected. Thank you so much.